Hi, I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Meaghan with Believe in the Run.
And Meaghan, we are standing here with the New Balance 880 V
15.
15. How
Did
we
you
get to
point at me
15?
because you forgot?
I was like, it's somewhere in the teens. We kind of skip the 880 usually because it's been sort of the budget 1080.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of been like, it's not the greatest. It just kind of like, I think it's a great entry level shoe. And so I got this one and I kind of liked the white and I was like, you know what? I haven't run an 880 in a while. Let me just try it on, go for a run. And I was surprised. I actually really enjoyed running in it.
Yeah, so mine sat in the box for quite a while, then you convinced me to lace it up, and now here we are doing a full review.
And I'm actually happy I did this because there's this category of shoes that I'm really loving right now. I guess you'd say under $150, where there's some really good shoes. The Adidas Evo SL, you've got the Nova Blast 5 that comes in at $140, you've got
Neo
Zen, which is fantastic, and they're lightweight. All of those, though, have a much softer midsole in this one. So this one kind of hit for me in the fact that I was like, oh, wow, this feels really good, a little bit firmer. So if you're looking for a shoe in that price range that's going to be a little firmer, this might be the one. We'll get into it after we go over the details. So Meg, why don't you break down the upper?
Yeah, so the upper is pretty traditional. You've got an engineered mesh, very simple overlays of the logo. It's a very nice cushioned collar, tongue, so it feels like that daily trainer.
I kind of like the fit of this better than the 1080.
Which is crazy because one of the updates of the 880 is they made a wider platform in upper for a more accommodating fit.
Which normally would bother me.
Yeah.
Because I like a narrow fit, but this one, you can see there's no puckering on the front here. And I felt like in the 1080, I had that extra room where this one I felt like a little more sleek, a little more slimmed down.
Yeah, so pretty traditional, stretchy, flat laces here. It's nothing exciting, but it also just kind of works.
Yeah, where I think another thing that feels like an upgrade on this shoe, the tongue with the gusset, is nice and padded. You come into the heel collar and the counter, and it's got a nice pillowy feel to it. So you're getting some comfort in here that maybe I wouldn't expect at the $140 price point.
And one thing I should note as we're going through all of these details, the last one I reviewed was version 4. So this feels very new and different. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about the midsole that you kind of alluded to earlier. It's a bit on the firm side, but this is fresh foam.
Yeah, what is fresh foam? Nobody knows. Each shoe, it's a little bit different, but this formulation of it feels like an EVA formulation. So it still has some nice cushion, rebound, and resiliency. What I do also like about it, it's a cosmetic thing, but the tooling, it used to be like all this kind of like organic ovally stuff, and they kind of brought in more of a, I don't know, streamlined look to it, so it looks less like it came out of a swamp or something. Across here. I really like the way they kind of clean that up. But the feeling underfoot, what I think I liked about this was since we've been running a lot of soft shoes, even if they're soft and light, they feel like you are kind of slowing down a little bit with the softness, but you're getting that comfort. Where this one I felt it still had comfort, but it feels a little faster.
Yeah, I think the thing that was a little bit confusing to me is how similar this midsole looks to the 1080 and how different it feels. So they're both Fresh Foam X, but they're very different formulations. And like Thomas was saying, this one, it's denser, it's firmer, but it still is comfortable. So it's not like a hard slapping.
It feels like more of a traditional shoe, maybe that lower stack thing that people are looking for. And then Meaghan looked up the stack. And Meg, what is it?
It's over 40 millimeters, so it's 40.5, 34.5 in the forefoot.
People, we're so spoiled at this point, and I love it. Our legs feel better. People want to knock these shoes for going higher stack and stuff like that, including Robbie. But I think it's helping like recovery when we're doing those high mileage. Meg, what is your like weekly mileage at this point?
Getting up there, like 80s, 90s. So I always prefer a higher stack. I'm glad that they added, I think it was almost 10 millimeters of foam to this version. And on that note, I know that it got a bit heavier than the last version, which is usually a downside, and I did put it in the negative portion of my review, but honestly, it didn't really bother me out on the roads.
I mean, It didn't bother me so much. As a matter of fact, it's one of those cases where I waited after I ran in it, and I was like a little surprised that it did weigh as much, because I thought this was like, felt like it was lower to the ground. It felt a little firmer, snappier, and then I didn't think it was heavy. Mine weighs 10.8 ounces or 304 grams, which...
That's for a men's 10.5.
For a men's 10.5, which is leaning towards the heavier side, but it's still under 11 ounces.
Yeah, so my women's 7.5 came in at 8.3 ounces or 235 grams. So again, a lot of shoes now in my size for a daily trainer are usually in like the 7. So getting into the 8-ounce range is a little bit on the heavier side, but didn't bother me at all.
Another thing I was surprised about that I didn't really feel in the 1080, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but the rubber on the outsole, this is pretty sticky, pretty tacky stuff.
Yeah.
And running around and hitting the different types of surfaces that we go over, and when a shoe, you can notice the grip and the kind of traction. I think this one, like, I would put this up there with some of our stickier rubbers. Did a really nice job.
Yeah, I think it works. All right, should we get into the rating system?
Let's do it.
Okay, so form out of 5. What do you
Form
give
out
it?
of 5, I'll give it a 4. I think it looks really good. I saw one of the ones online that I kind of like the colors better. It was kind of this gold color that I thought looked really nice. I'm glad they sent me the white. I probably wouldn't be giving it the same score if they sent me the all black. But, I think for what it is, and at $140, you're getting a really nice looking shoe that can do some crossover stuff.
Yeah, so I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I was looking at my shoe and not yours. And
I like that.
It looks like yogurt. Like,
it does look like yogurt.
It's not... I don't know. I don't want a colored midsole.
What was the name of your shoe? Because it was like a crazy name.
Something with gray matter. Reflection with rose sugar and gray matter.
Okay.
Who's writing these names?
I like it. It sounds like it would taste good.
Yeah, but okay.
Mine had a weird name too, but it wasn't as bad. It was like limoncello, gray matter.
Anyway,
I forget.
What are you giving Fit out of 5?
Fit? This is really going to surprise you. I had no hot spots. Everything fit really nicely. Look at this. No puckering. Lacing was simple, straightforward. Tongues gusseted, padded collar. I'm going to go 5.
I also gave it a 5. I thought it fit really well. It's comfortable. The step-in feel was nice. Yeah, no hot spots. No real complaints there. All right, and then function out of 5.
Ooh, function. 5 pigeons. It would be a lot. I think I'm probably going to go 4 on the function. And so 4 pigeons. What I think I would take off of this is, while I like it as something in my rotation, like I would like it for day after I was doing speed work, maybe this is a shoe that I could throw on for just that 6 mile, no paces necessary run. Felt good to me. But I don't think I'd want to have to rely on this for my only shoe all week long. Yeah,
I very much agree with that sentiment. I think this is a great daily trainer, but not the only daily trainer I would want, because it is firmer. And some days I just want a soft, squishy feeling shoe underfoot, and some days I want a firmer shoe underfoot. So I think this works, but it wouldn't be my only shoe in the arsenal.
We'd have to admit we're super spoiled with choices. If this shoe was something that you're looking at and you're on a budget, I think it does cover everything you need. And matter of fact, having that little bit of firmness will even give you those days where you want to pick up the pace for tempo a little easier. So it could potentially for you be a 5 in that range. Also, this is a shoe for my son who goes through shoes rapidly, like he's just hard on shoes. For $140, this would be a great shoe for him to chew up and get the money out of it. And I think it would be a solid choice.
Also, just if someone prefers a firmer foam underfoot, I know we have all of these really soft foams out there now, and I think some people actually prefer this type of ride. So if you do, this is going to work great.
All right, Meg, so how many pigeons is that total for everything?
So for me, that's 12 out of 15. For you, that's 13 out of 15.
I'm glad someone here can do math. So yeah, you have plenty of options in that 150 down range. I think there's more great shoes in that category than we've ever had in any year. Normally we're trying to push you up and say, hey, invest in the 160, 180 daily trainer range because you're going to get that extra oomph out of it. But right now, I'm thinking the 150 mark is the place to be. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you did, what can you do?
Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook. We have a Strava group, and we have 2 podcasts. We host The Drop, which comes out every Friday, and Fuel for the Soul with Meaghan Featherston.
And don't forget, we have this great website, believeintherun.com,
Sure
where you can go and subscribe to our weekly email. You never get spammed. It's just going to have some a list of everything that we've reviewed that week, both on YouTube and the website. And the greatest thing about it, you get a bonus. You get a little commentary from Robbie, who goes off and usually has a take on a subject that he writes really well about. So you're going to enjoy that. So go ahead and sign up for the email. Just go to believeintherun.com. You should get a pop-up, and it should be as easy as falling off a log.
What?
Yeah, I think people say that, right?
No one says that.
Falling. I think people say that. I think that's a saying. Isn't that a saying, Carl? Might be a saying, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll find out. See you next week or next time.
Okay.